Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. This is No More Water. Bye. Next time. I thank you for tuning in, but I have a very interesting subject tonight, and a lot of people may not like it, but instead of getting angry, try to listen for a change. There's always been something said that there's two entities in the world that you can't criticize. Well, there's three: Israel, homosexuals, and black women. Everyone else is fair game, but those three, you just can't say anything about them. They can say everything about you, but you can't say anything about them. And I'm just going to tell you, black people, we have lost all of our standards. Everything goes. And I tell you, in liberal thinking, it's fine. But we have to admit, there's a lot of people, even in the liberal thinking, that don't go along with a lot of the stuff. It's just that they don't want to be a part of the conservative movement because most black people are mostly into the liberal thing because mess up here. Are mostly into liberalism because they see the liberals as helping with black people's rights. There's a lot, face it, we just don't agree with. Like when they go through the different the marginalized people. When they bring up the homosexual and trans, many of the liberal people don't agree with that. They just don't say anything. And it turns a lot of people off. Now, we've gotten to the place that we've lost our standards. There used to be a time when the good looking fella, maybe the captain of the football team or basketball team, was homecoming king. The hot, sexy looking girl who's well known around school, she was usually homecoming queen because there were standards we had so that people can get better. You can't better yourself with no standards. But now, the homecoming king, he could be some guy dragging in with his pants hanging down. And he's really the school idiot. Now he could be homecoming king. The homecoming queen, she can be 250 pounds, but she raised the most money. That's what a lot of these things come to now, even these cotillions they have. Who raised the most money? Your daughter raised the most money, she can be 250 pounds. She wins the cotillion. We have no more standards anymore, especially in the black community. Anything goes. No one can tell no another person anything because we don't have any culture. Yeah, they say we got culture. We don't have no culture. We got things that we do, but it's not culture. Culture is not how you wear your hair, your clothes, or your food. It can be a part of your culture, but your culture sets your morals and standards and ethics. That's how different ethnic groups are formed. That's why black people, even though there's tens of millions of us here in this nation, we never formed ethnic groups among us. No other people in the world has the number of people that we have, yet they're not split into different ethnic groups. Because we never said any ethics among us. Everyone just do as they please. Now we've gotten to the place where people want us to accept overweight cheerleaders, obese cheerleaders. You know who this started with? Monique. And she was on the Parkers. She started this fat overweight thing. She started this. What Lizzo's doing, she's just copying Monique. Monique would be on the show, people made fun of overweight people, she'd get angry. Then she'll do a show and make fun of small people doing the same thing. But as long as it's not her, it's fine. But see, the thing is, Monique, her weight, you know, she used to do like Lizzo, had those fat dancers all on the award shows. I mean, big obese women. But then her weight started bothering her health. So Monique lost weight and she stopped talking about all that obese stuff because it's not doing you any good. I'm not saying it against anyone. I'm not trying to talk. I'm talking about the subject, not about any individual. Black women have gotten too large. Most black women weigh more than most black men. The CDC states that black women, 80%, this was in 2000. I think it's gotten worse since then, going by what you see in public. It says that 80% of black women are overweight. 80% of the overweight are obese. But now, as I said before, you go into a store right now, or you see black women in the street, and if you see 15 black women, it's not odd, it's quite common. For all 15 to not be just overweight or fat, but all 15 may be obese. Obesity is severely overweight. I see it everywhere I go. Oh, you say, oh, wait, that's overweight men. We're not talking about no men, because men not out there trying to act like they Mr. America when they fat. We're talking about women, because men are not at the level of women. We got little girls fat, all in high school. Spelman College, which is a female black college. They had, it's a female historically black college. They had to suspend sports activity for a while because all the freshman class was coming in too overweight. No matter what you try to say, no one's going to take obesity as the new normal. Everyone's just going to have to move on past you. If you're overweight, we know that happens. But don't try to act like it's okay. Make it the new standard. That way you'll never improve yourself. And you act like as though being obese is fine. As soon as you see a black man with a obese or fat black woman, you're going to say, all they can get is them old fat women. But all they fat is fat. Those fat white women, they say all he can get is a fat white woman. You know that's not true. Black men get all this pretty sexy. White women, Asian women, all kinds. But y'all just focus on the fat ones. But you say they got these fat white women. But most black men got fat black women because most of y'all fat. Maybe that's what he's used to. But if you notice, upper level men don't have fat women. And see, one thing that has hurt is that these simps in the black community, a lot of them actually like that. I see them just salivating over a woman. And you know what? And the woman is fat. But they think she's fine. And they got a lot of these fat, obese women thinking that they're fine. Like I said, don't get angry at what I'm saying. I'm saying this so you can get better. Because a lot of people going to stand and talk to you and tell you it's okay. Take a look at this. This is what they want us to accept. See those big old women jumping around? That's what they want cheerleaders to look like. No other people would put up with that. No other people. Just kind of hanging up. Look at that. Look at that. Who want to go see something like that? Come on now. We got to do better than that. We got to do better than that. No one wants to see that kind of mess, jiggling and bouncing. We gotta know how to stay in our lane. If you're overweight, fine, but we gotta know how to stay in our lane. Look, I'm a very thin person, but if there's a thing that muscular, I'm muscular, but I'm thin. But the beefy, muscular men are part of, and I go out there want to put on my muscle shirt, doing what they do, and people laugh at me, why would I get angry? I'm not in my lane. I've known women that I knew personally who's fit, fine women. I see them on social media all day. They post pictures of their face, take butt shots. Soon as they got overweight and gained weight, they start trying to take full body shots, talking about how sexy they were. Black women are the only women who think being overweight is fine. And you pass overweight, most of you obese now. And then you get angry when someone says something. No one don't have to put up with that. Oh, who are you to judge? Oh, you skinny. Oh, you bald head. What that got to do with you being obese? See, you think as long as you can throw shade at somebody else, everything, whatever's wrong with you is okay. Everything's fine with you as long as you throw shade back at somebody. Instead of trying to throw shade back, look at yourself and improve yourself. Because you acting like being obese is fine. Most black women weigh more than most black men. And when you see a black man fat, he don't try to run around here dressed like he's Mr. Universe. Seems like the fatter a woman is, the more sexier she tries to dress. And get angry. And you know what? I've had women see, but you can say anything you want about men, though. It's okay. But he can't say nothing about you, that you ready to go to war. You know why? I've had women say to me, I'm walking down the street or I'm in the store minding my own business, you so skinny and got some big old feet. And I look at her and say, well, you fat and you got little feet. What you mean I'm fat? I'm fine. What you mean I'm fat? Oh, she gets so angry. But she can say what? I didn't bother her. She's the one who bothered me. She gave her opinion of me. But I didn't get angry. When I gave my opinion to her, she ready to go to war. One woman I had to tell, you better back down. I'm going to knock your teeth out. Because I don't wait for somebody to hit me. When you come at me with hostilities, I'm not going to wait for you to hit me. And yes, I will hit a woman if she come to me with that masculine energy. She's going to get treated like a man. That's another thing. Y'all want to act like men. That's why I don't know too many people want black women no more. You got stank, nasty attitudes, and you think people want to be bothered with you? And you're overweight? Then some pretty fine white woman or Asian woman come up treating you nice, fit, fine, and he's supposed to choose you over her? But see, we don't get angry when y'all get with other men. Y'all get angry when we get with other women. Okay. Take a look at this.
Why do we have fat cheerleaders? This is unacceptable. Get these hippopotamuses the f out of here. And that's the issue with the black community too. They just promote degeneracy. And this is something that I get, oh, Myron, you're racist. Look, here's the facts. Black women weigh about 187 pounds on average. That's more than a man. That's unacceptable. They wear fake hair a lot of the times. They have attitudes. They have issues. When polled with public service, they're the least requested when it comes to being the customer service rep that you deal with. And then also they're the least requested whenever you have a customer base. They don't want to wait on black people. Bro, gotta do better. And that's just one group of people that promote the whole fat bullshit black women promote it all day. Oh yeah, Lizzo and all this other shit. There's multiple groups of people. That's just one example. But we promote people being fat way too much and it's an issue, and then it leads to all these other problems.
Yeah, the black people are coming at you, but at the end of the day, you actually mean well. You're trying to help them.
Now, is he lying? No one's going to accept that, not anyone in their right mind. Oh, you got a lot of men to go along with. Bunch of little simps, beta men. Cause any man has something going for himself is not going to go along with it. I'm not saying this to shame anyone to talk about anyone, because if you care about yourself, you're not going to be shamed. You're going to try to improve. I've mentioned this once before. I was at this store, and there was, well, I was at a fast food restaurant. I don't eat that stuff, but I was picking up something to take to someone at a nursing home who wanted to eat that junk. But I was ordering, but I heard some women talking. I wasn't eavesdropping. You know how loud y'all talk. You could hear you within a one half a block radius. And they were talking, and one woman was saying, "Girl, I gotta lose some weight. I gotta lose this stomach." Another woman told me, "Girl, you ain't gotta lose no weight. You look fine just how you are. You look good." Well, I hadn't looked down that way, but when I got to order, I did look down that way, and the woman was still talking. That woman's stomach was in her lap, and she was standing up. But they telling her she looked good. She don't have to lose any weight. Y'all need to stop fooling each other like that. Y'all need to cut that out. You women are looking bad. You black women. Y'all looking bad. You be fat, tattoos all over your body, red, green, blonde hair, and think that's attractive. And then you got the little blind and the blinds coming down on your forehead. Oh, but can't nobody tell you nothing. So I know a lot of women don't like it, because you never like when somebody calls you to task. You call everybody to task. Like I said, the woman coming to me for no reason. You don't want nobody to say nothing about you short of praise. You got a lot of problems going on. And it's mostly because of how you are. Then you put all these posts about how black women more beautiful, look good naturally, and nobody's gonna shame her. The only one shame the black women looking natural is black women. Black men always said they prefer you natural. You say, "Oh, but when I go natural, these men, a lot of them don't talk to me." You know why? Men see you as more classy when you're natural. And not everyone comes to a classy woman. But if you notice, those beta males, when you wear all that old stuff, they see you as low-hanging fruit. Easy to get. So black women, you are the only one that see something wrong with your natural beauty. Not everyone else. Now I put up my Cash App. Some people criticize me for putting up Cash App. Oh, you act like you big. But you know what? That's the way money is raised. You look on any podcast. Don Lemon, Roland Martin. That's the way it's done on podcasts in the 21st century. So you have to know what's going on before you say stuff. That's the way it's done in the 21st century. We're no longer in the 20th century. But call it what you want. If you want to donate, donate. If you don't, fine. But, mind your own business. But look, people are tired of black women just doing anything and everything. You come up, you're big, then you go out, cause trouble, and then when somebody try to say something about it, you want to get angry. Then when you got to pay for that trouble, you think every man in town is supposed to come help you out. You go out there want to box, that's on you. You're doing what you want to do. You're not a damsel in distress. And then you can't walk around like you too good for everybody. Ugly as you can be, jerking your head away and looking at your phone like you too good for anybody. Then when you get in trouble, every man's supposed to come running. Black women treat black men like white women used to treat us, like we didn't exist. Now it's the other way around. You see, you can't run around here looking the way you want to look. Then when a man says something, you get angry. Most of your attitude's so damn nasty that any decent man not gonna even approach you. I saw what one woman was on a podcast saying when it could be black women and white women in a room, and when a black man come into the room, he gonna talk to the white or other women, not the black women. But I can guarantee you that it's not because he don't like black women. Because the problem is, when you walk in a room and black women are in there, she gonna jerk her head away. She gonna do everything she can to keep from looking at you, while the other women will smile and speak to you. So who you think he's gonna go to? Instead of worrying about what men are doing, kind of think about what you're doing and straighten yourself up instead of trying to straighten everybody else up. Say, oh, he's just talking about women. Yeah, that's right. I'm a man. And we got enough women talking about men enough for men to get on here and talk against you. But that low standard I'm talking about is throughout the black community. That's why we're at with the fat women. Because we have no standards. We have no culture. We have no ethnicity. What is our ethics? What code of ethics do black people have? You go ask some Africans, people in the Caribbean, what the ethics they have. They can tell you. They can tell you what ethnic group they're from. That's why when many of them come here, they don't want to deal with us. They're trying to now because they want to play black and not get deported. They're saying they're black now. But we have no code of ethics. And people with ethics do not want to deal with people who don't have ethics. Oh, I know I'm making some of y'all mad, but I don't give a damn about y'all being mad. Listen sometime. Quit thinking because you don't like something is wrong. When people say something you like is right. Because you know why? People with schizophrenic think like is good and dislike is wrong. I saw a thing about a woman who's schizophrenic, and that's what part of her problem was. She think whatever she like is good, and what she don't like is bad. Whatever she like is good for her, whatever she don't like is bad for her. Crazy people think like that. Oh, I know what I'm saying the women don't like. Some of the men, because a lot of y'all men are simps, you say anything to please these women, think you're going to get in their drawers, and still don't get in it. You got to go to those women, try to make yourself look like an idiot, try to make them laugh and all, just to try to get some. If it take all that, I'd never get none. I just go to the women I don't have to be a fool around to get some, which I do. But the thing is, no one wouldn't be bothered with people who have no ethics and no standing. That's most black people. People expect us to accept, the women want you to accept them any kind of way, but they're not going to accept a man any kind of way. I saw a thing where wait a minute though. You women always trying to set standards for black men, but you never set any for yourself. He can do this, he can't do that. So who the hell y'all think y'all are? Y'all don't know nobody's mama. Y'all act like black men, your sons or something. You got to tell him everything what to do. And because a lot of these simps do it because they was raised by women only. And the average black man used to a woman talking to him in the kind of way. His mother did it. All the time he was coming up, he had female teachers. They talked to him in the kind of way. That's why you see when you got a woman and she talking to him in the kind of way, he almost don't pay any attention. He's talking to her all nice and kind. Watch the average black man and woman you see together. Watch their body language. His is more masculine. Hers is more masculine. His is more submissive. If you simps want to submit to these women, you do that. But I'm not going to. And no man in his right mind is going to. because things run by women do not work, and I'll get back to that later. But look, they put men in a box. He can do this. He can wear this. He can't wear that. If a man, if he talk, if he articulate well, have good posture and polished, he's a homosexual. If he walk around here all slouched, he's cool. Using poor English, he's cool. He's fine. You all get these chaotic men because you have no standards. You like them. You just don't like the end results. The very type of men you talk against is the kind you like. It's a person who's on a ride that they enjoy. But when they get to the end of the ride, they bump their head getting out every time. But they keep getting on that ride because they love it. They love the ride, thinking that it's going to be different next time. Get out, bump their head again. They keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. You keep messing with the same type of men and expecting different results. Then after you to mess your life up, got fat and had 3 or 4 babies, I'm going to go get me a good man. Why come you didn't do it in the beginning? Like he going to want you now? You're not going to go no higher than your baby dad. These baby dad or baby daddies. I know a lot of y'all don't like what I'm saying. You don't have to like it, but listen. Because how's what you're doing going for you? How's it going for you? What you're doing now? Something's got to change. You keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Instead of getting upset when somebody talk about your weight, why don't you try to lose something? So that used to be a time when people had standards. People wouldn't even let their daughter have overweight friends because they didn't want that to rub off on her. There used to be time in the classroom you had 1 or 2 overweight kids. Now you may have 1 or 2 kids who are not overweight. You eating all these processed foods, fried foods, high cholesterol foods. And then you got a gland problem. You got some kind of condition. Yeah, an eating condition. Oh, you all not running around here with gland problems. There's not that many of you. Very few people that you got an eating condition. And then you want to jump in these little suits, cheerleading suits, and think someone's supposed to go along with that. And then when they don't, he got to get fired and all that. I'm talking about the announcer. Now, he said some things about the fat cheerleader, which I think he was out of line because he is the public announcer. He should have kept his opinion to himself, his personal opinion to himself. I can guarantee you, had been a female announcer, there had been some short men out there dancing, and some old men, she wouldn't have kept her opinion to herself, and she wouldn't get fired. Everyone would just laugh it off. Because a lot of people have commented to me, oh, he's old here. But what they got to do, he's not out there performing on the senior squad. They're the ones out there performing. So what has his age got to do with those fat women out there? He's not out there performing. And I guarantee you, more young people, I would rather get to be his age than to be their size. So you better quit talking about elderly people because you're going to get old to die young. And I'd rather get old than get fat. Make your choice. So what have him being old got to do with? I know what go through when I say stuff on the podcast. Oh, look, you can't say nothing because I'm fat. You're bald head. What's that got to do with you being fat? I bet I can get more women bald head than you can get men being fat. They got these big old fat obese cheerleaders bouncing around and think that's supposed to be acceptable to people. Like I said, that public address announcer, he had no business saying anything because he is the public address announcer. And he should have kept his personal opinion to himself. But look, we gotta get to the place. We gotta make up our mind. We gotta get some standards about ourselves. We don't have no code of ethics. We're the only people who got tens of millions of people with no codes of ethics. We call our hair, our food, and the way we dress culture. That's a part of a culture. But your culture, as I said, set your code of conduct, rules, where you conduct yourself and your standards. We don't have that. Everybody just do as they please. And that's not working for us. Especially the women, because come on. Everywhere you go, all you see is obese black women. Not that, but obese black women. And this weight problem has gotten out of hand. And you want to go to war with anyone who talk about it. I went to the doctor's office one time, and when they weighed, the nurse weighed me. She turned to the other nurse. They were laughing about how little I weighed, just about in my face. But they were both obese, not fat, but obese. I needed to be laughing at them. Everywhere you go, I heard, even in church during testimony period, people saying, I went to the hospital, my blood pressure was fine. I thank God my blood pressure was fine. Come on, we got to grow up so we can thank God for bigger and better things, because your blood pressure is supposed to be fine. If it's not, it's because of something you're doing. Most of them be overweight. That's why their blood pressure usually is not fine. Your blood pressure is supposed to be fine. We need to get ourselves together physically, mentally, and spiritually so that we can have bigger and better things to be testifying and thanking God for. Not things that's supposed to happen anyway, or that shouldn't be happening anyway. You don't supposed to be sick. I know people get sick, but many of us doing things to help ourselves to get sick. And then act like it's a miracle when you go to the doctor and you're okay. Now that shouldn't be a miracle, that should be a standard. Get yourself together where you don't have to be so thankful for the standards, and you can be thankful for bigger blessings. How can you be blessed with more when you be out here dealing with the stuff that's supposed to come standard because you done messed up? Let yourself get 200-300 pounds overweight. But back to but that has to do with what I'm talking about with the weight problem. Let me play this again. I'm going to play something for you real quick. I played this earlier. Let me play this again.
Why do we have fat cheerleaders? This is unacceptable. Get these hippopotamuses the fuck out of here. And that's the issue with the black community too. They just promote degeneracy. And this is something that I get, oh, Myron, you're racist. Look, here's the facts. Black women weigh about 187 pounds on average. That's more than a man. That's unacceptable. They wear fake hair a lot of the times. They have attitudes. They have issues. When polled with public service, they're the least requested when it comes to being the customer service rep that you deal with. And then also they're the least requested whenever you have a customer base. They don't want to wait on black people. Bro, gotta do better. And that's just one group of people that promote the whole fat bullshit black women promote it all day. Oh yeah, Lizzo and all this other shit. There's multiple groups of people. That's just one example. But we promote people being fat way too much, and it's an issue, and then it leads to all these other problems.
Yeah, the black people are coming at you, but at the end of the day, you actually mean well. You're trying to help them.
This is what they want us to accept. Gone is to find sexy women. They want us to accept some mess like that. Well, you simps can accept it. I'm not. I like me some fine, sexy women. I don't want nothing like that. Well, I can't say don't nobody. Some of them like, I see some men won't have them though. Some simps who won't have them smaller than that. I've known a lot of men say, I like my woman fat. Ah, well, that's what he like. You see, when I got my cash app up, so I've had my people criticize me putting the cash app up, but like I said, that's the way it's done on podcasts in the 21st century. Get out of the 20th century, coming to the 21st century. All podcasters put the cash out. But like I said, if you don't like it, just don't donate. That's what you do with the podcast. You like it, you donate money. You don't, you don't. Or if you just don't want to, just don't. Don't criticize me. I'm not the only one who do it. All podcasters do it. How else you gonna do it? See, everybody got a criticism for everyone else. You can criticize everybody but Israel, homosexuals, and black women. You lose your jobs, your contracts, but I don't have no job for you to fire me from. I'm my own boss. I've always been my own boss, and I always will be. If I did work for somebody, it was just for a minute. But I knew I was going to get back to my own thing. So can't nobody counsel me but me. If you kick me off YouTube, I go on Facebook, which I'm on now. If you kick me out both of those, I go on the Roku channel, which I'm still getting set up. So I do it any way I want to. I go on the cable channel. I got a cable channel. I can fire that back up. I got all kind of ways to get it out there. I say what I want to say. And the person don't want to hear it, they don't have to, but because I know a lot of women are angry about me talking about these fat cheerleaders. You got to know when to stay in your lane. You don't see overweight men trying to be dressed like he's Mr. Universe. He's dressed appropriately. But it's like the bigger a woman is, the sexier she try to dress. And then I always want to try to tell men what to do. They're quick. You all don't want men to talk about you when you're overweight. As soon as a man does something, you quick to call him names. If he's articulate, like I said, if he's articulate with good posture and polish, you quick to call him a homosexual. I saw a video where some men was doing synchronized skating, and they have to lock arms together doing the synchronized skating. People on there insinuate, oh, I know he got sugar in his tank, like he's a homosexual. And some of the men were saying it too. But that's what you do in synchronized skating. You do things like that, lock arms and all in synchronized skating. Yet women, you go to a club with some. I don't go to the club, I see it on videos and all. Women bending over in thongs and all, with them shaking the twerk and shaking their naked butt. Other women spanking them on the butt. Women dancing together. Let me show you something. Look at that. If you want to talk about two men doing synchronized skating, but yet two women can do some mess like that. If a man did that, you call him all kind of names, and you know it. You got men in this little box where they can't do nothing, but women can do whatever they want to do. Now men wouldn't want to do that. Men got better sense than that. You think men will spank another man on his naked butt? He wouldn't do no mess like that. Yet women do it, and you think it's okay. Only a silly person who thinks something like that is okay. They rub all on each other's boobs. You have no standards. Black women don't have any kind of standards. I know black people don't have standards, but especially black women. Y'all out of control. You come with all that masculine energy to a man, but then when you come to another man, you could go to simps and get away with it. But a real man, you come to him with masculine energy, he's gonna meet your masculine energy. I've seen men women challenge men to go outside and box. But me, I'll go with you and knock your teeth out. Stay in your lane. Because I'm not going to wait for somebody to hit me. You get too hostile, I'm going to go on the offense because you don't wait for somebody to hit you. They go for man or woman. If a woman, I wait and let a woman hit me in the eye, it's going to get swelling up just like as though a man hit me in the eye. So stay in your lane. Fat women, stay in your lane. When you see men who are cheerleaders, what do everybody call him? A homosexual. And people don't have problems with that. The only thing I say, the first cheerleaders were men. But see, the only thing I say about what the men are doing now, they're trying to dance with the women and do the same type of dance they're doing. And you need to get your own dance. If you're going to be cheerleaders, I wouldn't be one, but I'm talking about the men who want to do that. They don't have to be homosexuals, but they need to stop trying to dance with the women because you don't need to be doing the type of dances that they're doing. That's the one thing I say about it. A man don't have to be a homosexual to be a cheerleader. But you women spanking women on their naked butts and dancing with each other, I got doubts about y'all. You'd be quick to call a man a homosexual just because he can't even look another man in the eye. He a homosexual. Can't talk properly. He a homosexual. Everything he do, he's a homosexual. You know where that came from? I can tell you where. Remember how the white people were saying, we're going to make black the new gay, which is really homosexual. I don't really like saying gay is homosexual. You know why they did that? But see, there was an ideology they started. So many white women started getting with black men. The racists did that, put that out there. So that white women, black men would look bad to white women and they wouldn't get with black men. But more and more white women and other women are getting with black men. But you know what happened? The white women didn't pay any attention. But the black woman picked it up and ran away with it. And they're always accusing black men of being homosexual and on the down low. And no one cares about that. People don't go crazy about that. When you say stuff about men, look, the stats say that the percentage of black female homosexual is much higher than male homosexuals. So you all can walk down the street holding hands. You can wear men clothing. Even kiss on each other. Don't nobody pay any attention. You get away with a lot. But this fat stuff, y'all need to check that. I mean, man, I go into the store just about every woman in there is not fat but obese. And you take a lot of these people who are handicapped. You know what's causing their handicap? Them to be handicapped? Their weight. They're so fat till it's making them handicapped. I know it could be with some men, but we ain't talking about men right now. We're talking about women. Because when women talk about men, you don't say some men, you say men. When it comes to women, some, not all. And when you talk about men, you don't throw women in there. You just talk about men. And that's what I'm doing. I'm talking about women tonight because I'm a man. And I'm bringing it from the male perspective and I'm bringing facts. The fact is, I told you before, the CDC says that 80% of black women are overweight. And 80% of the overweight is obese. And I think it's gotten worse since 2020. Because like I said, I go into the store, I see 15 black women in there. It's quite common for all 15 to not be fat but obese. And you get tired of seeing that, but you say something, or you can't say nothing. You skinny. Yeah. I can say something because you fat. I don't have to be perfect to say what I see, but I don't say nothing to them. But they'll see me and say, "Oh, you so skinny, you got big feet." I have bad women say that to me. Then I say, "Well, you fat and got little feet." She's ready to go to war then. And why would I didn't bring nothing to you? I was minding my own business. You'd be surprised at the women who say something to me because I'm a thin guy. But if I turn around and say something to them because they're fat, they're ready to go to war. You know why I don't? You know why I don't get offended because I like being thin. Evidently, you don't like being obese, or you wouldn't get angry. Especially when I didn't come to you. You confronted me. But these overweight cheerleaders, I don't go for that. We need to cut that foolishness out and get some standards. Bring the standards back. See, when you notice they don't have Miss America and all those beauty contests anymore. Talking about it's body shaming. Black women body shame men, black men all the time. Women, period. Not just black women, women, period. No one has a problem with it. As soon as a man says something about a woman, World War III, he loses his contract, he loses his job, and then you say, "Oh, you can't say nothing. You got a bald head." Or you can, I can't say something because I'm not that. You guys quit. I'm gonna tell you. You know what I used to do though? I used to laugh at men with bald heads when I was young. But I didn't laugh at fat people because there wasn't that many of them then. But fat is nothing to laugh at. It's not fat person is nothing to laugh at. But just to show you that, do you know that fat women laugh at people more than anyone and don't even know what they're laughing at? Talk about people more than anyone. But when you say something about them, they're angry. This fat stuff come on, it's getting outrageous. It's getting outrageous. The average black woman is not fat but obese. Black women weigh more than black men. But when somebody says something, you get angry. Oh, he's just talking about black women. He's just bashing black women. If you call this bashing, I say it's facts. What I'm saying is facts. Facts from the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and also facts from observance. You can observe things. If you see, if every man came by you and he was overweight, wouldn't it safe for you to say if the majority of the men, maybe 90% or more of the men, sometimes 100% of them you see, is overweight? Wouldn't that be a fact, observant fact? You can observe some facts also. When things have is constantly going a certain way, those are facts from observance. And what do you observe when you see black women? The majority of them are fat, and the majority of the fat ones are obese. When do you know that when you see a white person, when you run a white person, they say, "Oh, you lost weight. You look good." When you're around black people, and they say, "Oh, you lost weight. Are you sick?" Because they are only used to black people losing weight when they're sick, because that's what most of them do. I have to take a quick break, and I'll be right back. Give me about 60 seconds. Okay, I'm back. But look, if you notice everything I'm saying, I'm not saying to try to make fun of anyone or make light of anyone. I'm saying it so you can improve. Because if there was something I was doing and the person says it and I see that they're right. There have been people who told me stuff about myself. They told me about myself. And once I listened, I said, they're right. And it took steps to improving myself. But when you think no one can tell you anything and you're above criticism, you can't listen to anyone, you're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. Keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And you're not going to get different results. I tell you what, one thing I will say about men do listen more. Men have been criticized and talked about so much until we're used to instruction. Women are not. You're used to people lying to you, telling you fine when you fat. But I know some men like fat women, but not any upper level men. And I don't mean just in the income. I'm talking about upper level in his thinking. But income also, though. Any men who have a high thinking do not deal with obese women. Usually simps do that. See, what happens is I've known men, listen to this, I've heard them say, I'm keep going through the same thing with different women. Man, it'd be a different woman, I go through the same thing with them. You know what he'll say in the end? I got to find out what I'm doing wrong. I got to be doing something wrong. But you know what women would say? I'm going through the same thing with different men. But y'all just call it the N words now. Like people don't think like y'all not. But he said I'm going through the same thing with different men. And I'm tired of keep going through the same thing with different men. You know she'll stop and say, oh, these old men just ain't no good. She's the one person in that whole equation. All the men are no good, but she is. Because you'll find that a lot of those men y'all call no good, he go give it another woman, take care of her children and the ones he have by her, and they live good. Why come he couldn't do that with you? It wasn't him. It had to be you. If you tell a man, you say a woman who would say, I'm keep choosing wrong. No, you're the wrong choice. Because you know why? You're a fool if you keep choosing wrong. Or you're an idiot. Because you know what you said to a man? You see he keep getting with a certain type of woman. Oh, he like them on low class women, them on no good women. That's just what he like. But when it comes to a woman, she's choosing wrong. No, you are wrong. All those men can be wrong and you're right. That's the reason I'm saying that. You have to start examining yourself instead of examining everyone else. See, I used to hear me talk about Trump and the political stuff, the state of the nation, and all of that. I took it on a different subject tonight because that story about them fat cheerleaders, a lot of people are talking about that. And they want to talk about the man. Oh, he's an old man. He's this and that. I tell you what, I think it would be best to get his age than to get their size. I'd rather get old than fat. Because you're going to get old to die young. And his age has nothing to do. He's not out there performing. They are. So how you gonna take somebody who's out there performing and compare them with somebody who's not performing? When you go out there and perform publicly, you're opening yourself up for criticism. Everyone's not gonna like what you do. The only thing I said with that announcer, he was out of line because he was the public announcer. He should have kept his opinion to himself. Well, who want to see this? Come on, who want to go somewhere to see that? And the men who say they like to see it, something wrong with them. The women would say it because they feel like black women don't supposed to be criticized. They're supposed to criticize you. They're supposed to do whatever they want to. And you better be satisfied with it. Who the hell y'all think y'all are? You don't tell somebody what to like, what to be satisfied with. We don't have to like that if we don't want to. But you're so used to being simping for you. Until when one don't simp for you, you think something's wrong with him. Come on, get yourself together. Walk around with all these old women with beer bellies. They're not beer bellies, but they are pork chops and chicken wing bellies. You know, they processed food. Big as a house. Then you see a woman who's normal size, you think something's wrong with her. Oh, she's too skinny. No, she's fine. She's fit. If you notice, most men on upper level men, high level men, do you see them with overweight women? No, they don't have overweight women. Remember Leon Spinks? I remember when he went to the Olympics and he first started boxing. And I saw his wife. She was this woman with these great big old hips, great big old butt. You know what I said to some folks? He ain't gonna be with her much longer. He had her when he was broke. He got that $10 million for fighting Muhammad Ali. He got rid of that woman. See, people got angry with me when I said that. This is back a long time ago. And he did just what I said, because I knew when he got that money, he was cutting that big old woman loose. Because he was going to go out and be around women that he used to couldn't get. He wanted but couldn't get. See, a man know his lane. He knows the type of women that's in his lane, on his level. But a woman will be on level. She could be on level 4, but think she deserves a man that's on level 9. See, women always think they deserve more than what they do. They overvalue themselves. Because you know why? They're taught that. Have confidence. Don't care what anybody say. But what are you having confidence in? You have to have something to have confidence in. Confidence in being overweight? That's delusional confidence. What are you confident in? Just to say have confidence, you have to have something to have confidence in. That's backward thinking. How you gonna have confidence in being a messed up individual? You have confidence when you know you got things right. Not just for the sake of having confidence. Because it's not grounded. Your confidence has to be grounded in something. Not just because you're a human being. Everyone's a human being. You got to get some structure about yourself. Because you have something to be confident in. Because to be around here being confident in being overweight, that's delusional confidence. Because you know why? There's a world out here that has standards. And you don't run this world. You don't set the standards. So why would you want to be so far out of standards and it's going to cause problems for you? So I know people teach you that be yourself, do this. Be yourself in a good way. Cause see, you can be yourself and be a gangbanger or thug. That's being yourself. Hood rat. That's being yourself. But you got to make sure, you have to also evolve and improve yourself. There's a lot of people started off on a certain level, but they improved themselves. Everyone didn't start where you see them at right now. It took time for them to get there. They improved themselves. That's what you have to do. That's why when people show these like these overweight cheerleaders and all these black women overweight, they're not trying to dish you because you all don't seem to get it. Like you're getting fatter and fatter. And this ain't about men. This is about you. Because men not fat on the level you're fat. You don't go into a store and every black man in there is obese. That happens just about every time I go into a store now. They don't just be fat. The women don't be just fat. They are obese. The ones behind the counter and the customers. A fat woman, you can kind of deal with that because she's on the borderline. She can lose weight. I can deal with that. But when you get obese, you really got a problem. And the majority of black women are obese. Fat is not good, but she still has a size that she can do something about it. When you get obese, which most start now, you got a problem. And when somebody tells you about it, you get angry, want to fuss, even want to fight. Instead of saying, yeah, I think I need to lose some weight. There ain't nobody tell me that. I'm not trying to please no man. What you want, a woman? I hear women say that. I saw them put up a post about a woman said with natural hair. Said this is kind of her men like. You should saw the comments from the women. Don't nobody cover these men like. I don't fix myself for no man. I do it to please myself and feel good about myself. Then go screw yourself. You say you want a man, but you don't care about what he think. You don't care about what he want. White women do. You know what they do? They can fit to please their men. They tell you, I'm fixing my hair looking nice to please my man or please men. But black women say they're not doing nothing to please a man. Now, if I want a woman, what would it look like for me to say, I'm not doing just to look good for no woman. I'm doing it to feel good about myself. Yeah, you feel good when you know you look good. But I want the woman to like the way I look too. Because if I want a woman, that sounds stupid. I want a woman, but I don't care what she thinks. That's stupid that sounds. Sounds just as stupid when women say it. You think a man, that's why the average black woman don't really, white women know more about black men than black women do. Black women just know what you think you know. Oh, we know what these N-words are. Because you know why? When black men are mentioned, you think about the worst black men you know of. You can't find the kind you say you want because you're too busy thinking about the kind you don't want. If you want a man that you're supposed to think that you want to know what he like and what he want, if I want a woman, is that hard to figure out? I'm going to know. I want to know how she think, what she want. But the woman tell you she don't care what a man want. Thinking the man, then you ask a man, woman, what you think men like about women? You know what she do? She describe what she think he would like and not what he would like. She described herself as a man, really. Because think of the man supposed to look at things the way she look at it. If you see a man who want obese woman, well, I know some of these simps like fat women, but you know that's why they simps. They got these fat women thinking they fine. But if you want to get you a decent upper level man, you're going to have to lose that weight. Because how many of them you see with fat or obese women? Oh, she got fat having babies. These other women get fat You can have babies. Excuse me. How come these other races of women can have a bunch of kids and don't be all fat? I know some fat ones, but not on the level of black women. Start about the whataboutism. And all you this, you that, you can't say nothing. How that happened in your situation? By throwing shade back at somebody. Many times you women think that if you can throw something back at somebody, then they can't say nothing. They can say something, they said it. Instead of trying to throw something back, examine yourself. See if it's true or not. Because you are really in bad shape. Spelman College. I said this earlier. It's Spelman College. There's they had to it's a black female historically black college. But what happens is they had to suspend their athletics for a while. After they started back up now because the freshman class is coming in so overweight and out of shape. But you all think that's no problem? And you're turning a lot of the men off. They won't say nothing because they know how angry you get when they say something about your weight. 30% of the black men that was enrolling in college had never dated a black female before. And they asked them, say, see, it's not just your weight, it's your attitude also. Black women are mean. Just go into the store and watch how white women treat you and other women treat you and the way that black women, the service you get from them, the nasty stank service. That's why I'd rather go to a self-checkout. At least I don't have to put up with the nasty attitude. The black women talking to the co-worker or somebody else, don't say nothing to the customer. All that old ghetto stuff, you got it all up in Walmart and everywhere. White women talk to you, treat you nice. Do you know I can't have a cordial conversation with a black woman? If I do, she think you hitting on her. Won't say nothing. I can do it with other women. She go about her business, I go about mine. Black women not gonna say nothing. Black women only talk to men they think they're interested in. That's why men, when they tell you, oh, you got a woman, she talking about he's just a friend. Don't believe that BS. Women only deal with men they have an interest in. But look, what I was saying about the black men that in the college, who's 30% of them say they never dated a black female before. They ask them, say, why? Uh, don't you like them? They say, yeah, we like them. They, don't you think they look good? Say, yeah, they look good. They say, well, why come you never dated one? You know what they said? They're so mean. Then they go to these other women and they're treating them nice. And you say, soon as a man start making some money, he go and get another race of woman. All of his life, he been around black women talking to him any kind of way. It started with his mother. See, black men take from women, but no other men take. Because other men will come and ask you, say, how y'all put up with it? See, you know what it started with his mother. She cursed him out, talked to him any kind of way, hit all on him. Then he go to teacher talking to him, most of their female teachers, she talking to him any kind of way. That's why when you get a woman and she talk to him any kind of way, it don't even faze him. He's talking to her nice, she talking to him mean. Listen to the average black man, black woman talk. He's talking to her nice, she talking to him any kind of way. He don't say nothing because he used to it. But see, these other men who's raised with their father, they're not used to no woman talking to them any kind of way. That's why they mostly use black women for motel material. Because they don't want you to keep talking to them like that. And that's why when a black man, he started making money, he started being around these other women. They're talking to him nice, showing him respect. They're feminine, not all masculine acting. He's not used to that. He's gonna fall for that. You time to get a little money. He go get another. You got black men of all income levels getting with these nice, pretty white women. They come at you. Old as I am, I have young, pretty white women, Asian women coming at me. You wouldn't believe it. I don't care what you might be out there saying. I know it's true. These women be on you. While the black women jerking their head away when they see you. Don't want to make eye contact with you. These other women coming up to you, talking to you. So who you think a man gonna end up with? But the first thing you all gotta do, you got to get out of that obesity. People are tired of looking at this. They're tired of seeing that. You want people to accept it as a new norm. This is not gonna be no new norm for anybody who got any sense. They're not gonna put up with this kind of stuff. You guys are jiggling all around. And get angry when people say it. And Monique started this mess. She used to put up all the most fat dancers, like Lizzo doing. Monique used to do that. But you know what happened? It almost killed her. Her health, she lost that weight, and you see, she don't talk that mess now. Why? Who in their right mind would support obesity and think other people are supposed to put up with it and get angry when they don't? You want to call them all kind of names. How is that helping your obesity? Because you can throw shade. Oh, because you can throw shade back at them. That means you being obese is okay. But you can throw shade at everybody. Black women talk about everybody. You're on social media all day long, calling black men homosexuals and all that. Even though he's not. You see a black woman hit a black man on social media, you're laughing. He hit her back, you're going to see him get the death penalty. One-way aggression. Time to straighten up. We need some standards in our community. We have no standards. And then people want you to accept anything that they do. Not just with the women, but the whole community. We have no ethics. But there are tens of millions of people, and we don't have ethnic groups among us. We're the only people in the world with this many people who are not divided into ethnic groups, which set your code of conduct. We don't have no code of conduct. It's everybody do as they please. That's why when anytime people do something and someone says something about it, they're ready to go to war because they're used to doing whatever they want to do, and you better accept it. We can put a bunch of big, fat, cellulite, obese women out there in cheerleading uniforms, and you better like it. You don't have to like nothing. If you put a bunch of short men out there, you think women wouldn't make fun of them? And wouldn't nobody have nothing to say about it? They just shrug it off and laugh about it. Even men. Most of this food, you got men on there supporting these obese cheerleaders. Let the fine, pretty woman be cheerleaders. And you go and maybe join a wrestling club with some other female football team. They get a female football team. Because most of you weigh more than a linebacker anyway. Who wants to go to a football game and the cheerleaders weigh more than the linebackers? That makes sense to you? The cheerleaders weigh more than the linebackers. Look at that. They need to have on a football uniform, not be out there cheerleading. They need to suit up with a helmet. Look at that. Yeah, they need to put on the pads and a helmet and get out there and play football. they meet the weight. You actually want to go to a football game and see the cheerleaders weighing more than the linebackers. That don't even make sense. It does not make any kind of sense. Now, the announcer who said something about the women, he was suspended. I don't know for how long, but he was suspended, which I agree with the suspension. Because even the reason I say that is because, like I said it earlier, and I'm gonna say it again. He was the public announcer, and he was out of line. He should have kept his opinion to himself. True or not, when you're the public announcer, you don't do that. He had no business giving his opinion about those women. Just announce, say who they are, and let that be it. Yeah, you know, because how, to anyone, how would you feel? You just finish performing anything while you're in the field, the moderator or the announcer make fun of you. And somebody in the audience did it, you can't control that. But when you're on the job, do your job and stop giving your personal opinion about some women's sizes. I look at myself as my size. They were having a contest and this big, tall, muscular man. I go out there and put on my muscle shirt, gonna get out there with them. And me and a bunch of men my size. Then when people say something about it, I'm gonna get angry. No, I know how to stay in my lane. Oh, I'm muscular, I'm just not big. I'm very slim. But I know how to stay in my lane, stay on my level. These fat women, they didn't stay out of their lane and trying to make people accept that. I don't accept no obese women out there cheerleading weighing more than the linebackers on the team. Go wrestle or something. Sumo wrestle or something. You're not no cheerleaders. At least you shouldn't be. Now I don't know why they allowed that. They just allowing obese women all around the place. First thing they say, oh, you can't sit there, you bald head. That's your answer to everything by throwing shade back at somebody. It's not helping your situation any. How can you improve when every time somebody says something you don't like, you think is wrong? If you like it, it's right. Do you know people with schizophrenic think like that? The mental problems? I've seen things documented. People with mental problems think if they like something, that means it's right. If they dislike it, that means it's wrong. But that's the average black woman. Do you all have mental problems or something? Well, black people, really. I know men will do that too, but I'm talking about women tonight. Why? Because I'm a man. And I'm giving the man perspective. You can go all over TV and everywhere else and get the female perspective. You've been hearing theirs over 50, 60 years. And the reason all this stuff is getting by, because of feminism. Feminism, you know what's hurt the Democratic Party? I mean to talk about politics, but let's say this. The Democratic Party feminism has taken it over. And it's become so weak. Because when women run things, they destroy everything you run. And don't get mad, let me show you. Since women have taken over black politics, see, black males, Jesse Jackson, Andrew Young, Julian Bond, Roy Innes, they built this black voting machine. They worked through organizations. They didn't just try to make a. They built it for black people, not just black men. Black people was making many gains in the '60s and into the '70s. But you know how they stopped us from making gains? Feminism. Black women, they gave black, started empowering black women, giving them jobs in the federal government. Cause see, they were double minority, female and black, killing two birds with one stone. You know. So then anytime black men said something, he lost his job, lost his contracts. He couldn't say nothing about black women. So he just kind of laid aside. The women took over. What have we won as a people since women been running things? What type of gains? I'm not talking about you going to college and making your personal gain. I'm talking about since women been running the black community. Where have we got? The gains we was making in the 60s and 70s stopped when women took over. And it was by design. White people designed it. The system had it for women to take over. And they stopped the black gains. We've been taking nothing but losses since we. I know y'all may not like this, but it's the truth. Okay, Stacey Abrams, she ran for governor of Georgia. I think she was an excellent candidate. But you know what? How she lost? They started this black. They ran it like she was running for president with black sorority. Not like she was running for the governor of Georgia. And I told people she's not going to win. If I was in Georgia, I'd vote for her. I'm sure most black people are going to vote for her. But you cannot put your gender and race into your politics, which is what black women do. I know y'all may be angry, but this is the truth. And I can show you the facts. You know what else I told them? I said, look, I was talking with some people. Stacey Abrams is not going to win. This is the first time she ran. Oh, years angry because of blood. No, I said, if I was in Georgia, I'd vote for her. I think Stacey Abrams would make a good governor of Georgia. You know why? Most black people who come into those positions do an excellent job. And that's why they don't want you there. When they talk about DEI, if I go and I see a black pilot and male or female, if I see a black person, I don't like separating the gender. If I see a black person, the pilot, and the black flight crew, I know I'm in good hands. You know why? They had to jump through hoops to get there. They wasn't given a position like white males are. Those are the ones you have to be leery of. I said about Stacey Abrams, I said, look, she's an obese black woman. Other people, especially white men, are not going to vote for an obese black woman who's promoting her gender and race in politics. See, black people will go for that, but she needs more than black people to win. She ran the second time. Same thing. I knew she wasn't going to win because she ran the campaign the same way she ran it the other way. And you all did the same thing with Kamala Harris. You ran her campaign like it was she was running for the black women got so involved in it, brought up her race and gender all the time. You don't do that in politics. When Obama ran, he didn't run off for being a black man. And he wouldn't allow people to do it. But when Kamala Harris, You would think she was running for president of the Delta, the female sorority or something. You don't run a campaign like a sister girl movement. And it turned a lot of people off, including some black men and black women. You know, they talk about the black men that voted for Trump. It ended up being just a 7-point difference between the men and women. They're like the men just abandoned. The men voted in the high 80% for Trump. The tally was. And the women, 92%. And I think they said it was like a 6-7 point difference. But you know what? When you look at the number of black female voters compared to the black male voters, the percentage, numeral wise, more black women voted for Trump than black men. So it really kind of balances itself off. I say this to say, not trying not to get into politics, but that black women don't listen to anyone. You really don't even listen to each other. Anytime someone tell you something, you get offended. Like I say, this obesity stuff, you all got to cut this out. All over social media, they talking about this man, calling him an old man, talking about the fat cheerleaders. Because he was talking about this. Who wants to go to a football game and the cheerleaders weigh more than the linebackers? Look at that, look at that. Who wants to go see that in their right mind? Who wants to see that? The cheerleaders weigh more than the linebackers on the team, on the football team. I played this before. Let me play this guy for you so you can see this.
Why do we have fat cheerleaders? This is unacceptable. Get these hippopotamuses the out of here. And that's the issue with the black community too. They just promote degeneracy. And this is something that I get, oh, Myron, you're racist. Look, here's the facts. Black women weigh about 187 pounds on average. That's more than a man. That's unacceptable. They wear fake hair a lot of the times. They have attitudes. They have issues. When polled with public service, they're the least requested when it comes to being the customer service rep that you deal with. And then also they're the least requested whenever you have a customer base. They don't want to wait on black people. Bro, gotta do better. And that's just one group of people that promote the whole fat bullshit black women promote it all day. Oh yeah, Lizzo and all this other shit. There's multiple groups of people. That's just one example. But we promote people being fat way too much, and it's an issue, and then it leads to all these other problems.
Yeah, the black people are coming at you, but at the end of the day, you actually mean well. You're trying to help.
Come on now. You think those women are appropriate? Cheerleaders weigh more than the team's linebackers. Come on, you think that's appropriate? You think people gonna accept that as the new norm? We have no standards in our community. We have no culture. We say we got culture, but we don't. We got some things we do that could be part of a culture, but it's not a culture. The way you dress, the way you wear your hair, the way you get the food you eat, that could be part of your culture. But your culture is supposed to set your code of ethics, the way you operate, standards. And we don't have that. Everyone just got their own standards, do as they please. Then when you do something and people criticize it, you get angry, think they're supposed to accept anything that you do. That's why when many other black foreigners from the islands come here, they don't even want to be bothered with us. Because they have ethnic groups. We don't. Like I said before, we're the only people with tens of millions of people and don't have any ethnic groups among us. We're the only people in the world with that many people who are not divided into ethnic groups. Because what ethics do we have? We don't have no code of honor, no motive, no way to operate, no standards no standards by which we operate by. What standards do we have for marriage? None. You go out here and build your body count up, then you find somebody who put up with you. Stay married to them for about 5 years before you get divorced. Now it's less than that. In other places, they have cultures about how they get married. You don't go pick somebody because he's cute and fine, got a 6 feet tall and got more than 6 inches. No, your people pick your husband for them. It was not no love, right? Love come, love go. And those people stay married for a long time. That's why you get with them. You can't stay married more than 5 years. The average black marriage don't last for 5 years. The few who get married, and it's usually women who file for divorce, don't love them no more. What's love and marriage got to do with each other? They can come later. When you get married out of love, you don't. When you do that, you really don't want a marriage. You just want a long romance. You're not looking for a marriage. You're looking for a long romance. And men not really off into romance anyway. He do that just to please the woman. You think a man really want to bring you flowers? That don't mean nothing to him. What he getting out of that? He just do it to get some, that's all. Doing that to please you. That's all romance is, to please the woman. That's why he give you stuff on Valentine's Day. He don't get nothing. When you gonna give him something in bed, that's something he get anyway. Yeah, wait till Valentine's Day. He giving you some too. So how's he benefiting? How he getting somewhere? You having sex with him, he's having sex with you. You're gonna do the most hollering and getting the most out of it anyway. So he's really coming up on the short end. You didn't buy him nothing. And then you have gotten so pitiful. You black women have gotten so pitiful. I'm talking about black women because I'm black. And this is about you fat black women. Look, you have gotten so pitiful with this stuff. Now you're having Valentine's Day with women giving each other gifts. Because you ain't got no man. Now you got to get gifts from women. You know, if a man did that, you'd be calling him all kind of homosexuals. But I don't know why a man would want to do something like that. I'm not giving no man having no Valentine's Day. Men got enough sense not to have no mess like that. Really like having Valentine, men giving, excuse me, giving each other, excuse me, giving each other something but Valentine's Day. See, first of all, men wouldn't think of no foolishness like that. Women at the clubs, out on the floor, dance floor, dancing with each other. Man come try to dance with you, you run off the floor. A man did something like that, you call him all kind of homosexual. Look at that. Look at that. I told you I saw a video of 2 men doing synchronized skating. Who they had to lock arms while they were synchronized skating. People was calling them all kind of homosexual. Even the men. Oh, I know he got sugar in his tank. What they got in their tank? What they got? Testosterone in their tank. See, women get away with everything. Man can't get away with something like that. He don't want to get away with it because men wouldn't do that. But you all wouldn't think everything women do is fine. You do nothing wrong. The only time I hear women, the only women that other women would say is no good is, you know who it is? their son's girlfriend or wife, or their brother's girlfriend and wife. Them the only no good women. All other women are perfect. The one your son or your brother's with, those are the only no good women. All the rest of them perfect. Do no wrong. I remember I was at a place with the women. The woman came there. I was with some people at the house. She came there. She was upset about her and her husband breaking up. Oh, girl, help him. That's what the women were saying and all that. She said, no, I want to get back. I want to stay with my husband. He said, girl, what was cheating? She said, yeah. Oh, that's all these old men do. Oh, help these old men. But you know, they didn't say men, they said the N. That's all these old N words do. Help these old N words and all that. Now then the woman said, no, he didn't cheat, I cheated. Girl, what did he do to make you cheat? See, the excuses for the women, but not for the men. But statistics show that women cheat just as much as men. But by there being so many more women than men, you have less reasons to cheat than men. But you cheat just as much, which means you cheat more when you look at the numeral value. Because look, how can a man do more cheating? Because it's harder for a man to get sex than a woman. And you know what? The average woman got a higher body count than men. Men are not having sex. It's certain men are. But most men are not having sex the way women think he is. He boasts like he is, but most are not. Do you know that 54% of black men are single and childless, and they're not homosexuals? Men are not having sex like that. The women, they can have all the sex they want. Men who don't even like you would have sex with you. So women usually have a higher body count than men. You may have certain men, because see, do you know among black people that between 16 and 20% of men are making most of the babies? That's why our population has went down. And then in the last 50 years, and then 28 million babies was aborted. So that helped also. 28 million black babies was aborted in that period. So that helped. But when you only have a few percentage of the men making the lion's share of the babies, you can't grow like that. You can't build a community like that. I'm surprised that black people not dating their brothers and sisters with so few men making the babies. Because women, when you leave it up to women to pick men, they all gravitate towards the same few men, and they're usually not the men of the higher standards. I told you this before. I knew a man he was 28 years old. He's older now. He's in his 30s now. When he was 28, he had 18 children by 10 different women. And if he had 18 children by 10 different women, what about all the women he had sex with and didn't have babies by? These few men have a whole lot of babies. Then you have a lot of men who didn't have none at all. And these women know these men have all these babies. But as I say, women tend to gravitate towards the same few men. And it's natural. That's why people used to pick women husbands for them, because if you let's say you want to start a horse farm, you don't buy 10 mares and 10 fillies. Mares are the male horses, fillies are the female horses. You buy 1 or 2 mares, put them in there with 10 fillies, next thing you know, you'll have a herd. But you know what's going to happen? If you put 2, because if you put 10 mares in there with 10 fillies, those 10 fillies are still going to have the babies by 1 or 2 of those mares. And the rest of them going to be there for nothing. Females of all in the animal group tend to have, you leave it up to them, there's just a few of the males they're going to gravitate to. It happens with the horses, and it happens with the women. When you leave women to their own devices, they don't do very well. That's why I was saying about the Democrat has been taken over by feminism. And you see the problems they're having. They're turning a lot of people off, because I tell you what, feminists try to include everything and everybody except men. You know, black women have really embraced the feminist movement. You hear black women talk about, when they mention people, they just mention women, people of color, the homosexuals, and all them different other people, Latinos. They will mention everyone except black men. So when they say people of color, that's including the men and women of that group. Black people are not people of color. We're separate from them. Black men were left out. That's what feminists do. They leave the men out. And it turned a lot of men away from the Democrats, including some black men. Because you don't come to men like we run it and all that. They were saying that when they were saying that many black men were thinking about voting Republican, and when you looked at a Kamala Harris rally, they said there would be a lot of black men in the audience. But you look at her backdrop, the optics mean a lot, and Trump was good at that with the optics. I can't say Trump, but the Republicans. I doubt if he thought about all that. You know what they did at Kamala Harris? You see white men, Latinos. You saw everyone standing behind her except for a black man. Every one of her rallies I saw, I didn't see a black man standing behind her. And they said there was a lot of black men at the rally. At Trump rallies, what did you see? Black men, everyone standing back there. They may have been paid stepping pictures, but they were back there. Excuse me. So why come Kamala couldn't do that? Put some black men back there. You have to look at the optics. When you ask a MAGA person or a Democrat or Republican, a MAGA person or Republican, why are you voting for Trump? Because of this. Yet they can tell you in one sentence. You ask a person why they was voting Democrat, which I vote Democrat. And I voted for Kamala. But when you ask a black person why they vote for Democrat, they bring you a whole laundry list. See, the Democrats try to be everything for everybody, like the feminist movement does. Except for men. They include everyone but men. When they go down the list, they mention it, they talk about the homosexual. You know what? Even a lot of liberal people get tired of hearing about LGBTQ and trans people and all that. Because I get tired of hearing it. Now, I don't care who don't like it. Look, I don't want being homosexual being compared to being black to my race. Being put on the equal level. Somebody being homosexual is not on the level of anyone's race. Can't you just say disenfranchised people? You don't have to go through a whole list. Because a lot of the liberal people. See, do you know that most black people are conservative about the way they want things to be, but goes with the liberal because the conservatives talk about they because of civil rights. That's why most black people go with the liberals. There's a lot of things black people don't like about it. Talk to black people privately, they sound like a conservative. But because of the way the liberals help with civil rights, and health care and all, most black people can't go with the conservative because they talk against us. Who's gonna go with someone who's talking against you? So but many people are tired of hearing about these homosexuals. So I heard some homosexuals say they discriminate against us. It's just like they discriminate against black people. You're a damn liar. What have you being a homosexual got to do with somebody's race? You being that on your own. Well, I was born this way. Well, that's your problem. Yeah, that's your problem, not other folks' problem. Deal with it. But only thing I say, because of feminism, women think can't nobody tell them nothing. You can be fat. Everybody's supposed to say that's okay. You have to have some standards. Like I said, in 2020, those who may not have heard this, the CDC, 80% of black women are overweight. 80% of the overweight are obese. That's 2020, but I think just from observance, it seems like it's worse. Like I say, I go into a store, go anywhere where black women are at. Look at the first 20 black women you see. It's quite common for all of them, not some of them, but all of them to not be fat but obese. And people are supposed to accept that? And you want to get angry because people won't accept it? Ladies, if 80% of black men were overweight and 80% of the overweight was obese, you wouldn't accept that. You see the little girls in school fat. How can black man, marry a black woman if he don't like fat and obesity? You can't marry a teenager. That's the only way you're gonna find one of decent size. Cause you get tired of sorting among the women, but he ain't gonna do that. So what he got to do? Maybe go outside his race. He don't get with white women because she's white. He get with her because the way she treats him, because she's usually fit. Oh, some get with fat women just like they get with fat black women. Yeah, but look, but black women get with white men because he's white, and she mad at black men. Because every white man I know who say they even talk with black women, different ones, they tell me that the black women always talk about how much she hates black men. Well, hate us all you want to, because we can move on. Y'all can't. Because white men don't like y'all like that. Not in numbers. And white men or the other men, they just see y'all as motel material. I don't like that, but that's the way it is. I mean, but you are going to have to get off of that masculinity and get up off that weight. And you'll see a whole big difference in your life. Just like we got school for boys, we have to get some school for girls where they have charm school. Because in those schools for boys, they teach them how to be gentlemen. For black boys, you see more school for black boys than you see for black girls. Because let me tell you, they say stuff to fool you women. Like, we make more money than men. No, you don't. No women on earth out earn their men, including black women, here in the United States. You know why? You have to get a degree. See, the jobs that black women normally work don't pay a lot of money. You have to get a degree. to make a decent salary. Black men can go work at a factory, warehouse, go to trade school and still make more money than you make with your degree. Cause most of you getting BS degrees anyway. Humanities, sociology. You're not the most educated. You don't want to know why? You went through K through 12. That's education. College isn't education, it's training. It's like a 4-year trade school, but you get 2 years of BS and plan fine to get to your trade in the last 2 years. You're not being educated, you're being trained. See, you let this world fool you into thinking you can do what you want to do and be whatever you want to be. Most millionaires don't even have degrees. Did you know that? Didn't even go to college. They come from the blue collar sector. You can become an electrician, start a company. Most companies started from the blue collar section. That's why you see that woman, oh, I made 6 figures. They tell me she with that old man working on cars. She found out that man working on cars make twice as much as she do. I know, because I know a lot of high earners. And you women, you got to get it together, because you black women, you losing at everything. And everything you get involved in, taking the L. It takes a loss. Black people are stagnant. We're not everything. It just look, every election black women have been over, mostly the face of, it was a loss. Even with Kamala, it was a loss. Let the black men, no, don't let us do a damn thing. Black men, we need to take this stuff back over. The black women have ruined it. They ruined that voting machine you made. Look at Black Lives Matter. That was a big mess. Not the organization was a big mess. As a matter of fact, the three lesbians who started it, they all been to prison. 2 of them in there now. One didn't go because she snitched on the others, so she's out. But what happened was, during the George Floyd incident, Black Lives Matter was donated. What I heard was 100 million. The others was 150 million. But let's say 100, go with the 100 million. You know what they did with that money? They really didn't have much of an organization, because every black protest was coined Black Lives Matter, even if it wasn't sanctioned by Black Lives Matter. But the organization, how they got it to them, because I never knew what the organization was at. Those women took that money, bought mansions, Rolls Royces. You know, they said, well, we bought that 6-room mansion as a safe house for the community. It's way off from the community. What you gonna do with 6 rooms? How many people you gonna put up in that safe house? Like somebody a fool or something. They're in prison now. There really is no Black Lives organization right now. No Black Lives Matter. Everything y'all touch burns. The men are builders, women are not. You all come and help do some add-ons and help out. When men was running the democratic process, they took it to the streets from the precinct committeeman level. That's who got out the votes, the precinct committeeman. You can't get on social media saying, she's a strong black woman, vote for her. You're going to turn a lot of people off. You need to relax that. All y'all strong, let you tell you pay your light bill. You say you're strong for doing that. Most of the stuff you say you're strong at is just normal stuff that everybody else do every day. Your standards that low, that doing normal stuff make you strong. I pay my own rent, I pay my own bill. You supposed to do that. It's your bills, it's your rent. You single, live by yourself. Don't you supposed to pay your bills? I pay mine. You're supposed to pay yours. That's normal. But I tell you what's not normal, walking around here all obese. Y'all trying to make it normal, but people not going to go for that. Not anybody with any sense. See, especially the rest of the world. You may get some black men to go along with it because they used to fat women. But the rest of the world not going along with that. Who's going to go along with that? You want to go to a football game and see that? You want to see that in a football game? Maybe at a wrestling, sumo wrestling match or something. Because see, the cheerleaders should never weigh more than the linebackers on the football team or anyone on the football team. Nah, y'all got to cut this mess out. I know a lot of you angry. Don't get angry. Stop and examine yourself for a change. And, get off all that old masculine behavior and all that old excess weight. And get a little more feminine. You'll find your life will be a lot better because being feminine for a woman has a lot of power. It's a soft power. You see a feminine woman, people open doors for her. Yeah, sometimes even women will open doors for her because they see a difference in her. And you women know feminine has its power with men. You know why? You women who have worked for acting all masculine, when you want something for a man, you get to talking soft, batting them eyes, showing them teeth, talking all soft to get what you want. So you know it has a power. You know how to jump feminine when you want something. I go into a room. I be in the room. I see the white women, the Asian women, all other women come in there. They come in there in a very soft, small way. The black women bust up in there like they own the place. Talking all loud, cursing. You curse more than men do. Now, if a man want a woman, who do you think he's going to choose? Your masculine, loud self or the quiet, feminine women? You bring about your own problems and then you blame everybody else for it because you don't want to take accountability for anything. I know y'all, man. Oh, you talking about he bashing black? You can call it bashing if you want to. Don't talk about no bashing because look at the average black woman social media post. What is she doing to black men? Have you ever noticed something? Do you notice black women don't criticize white men or other men? They only criticize black men. You'll put up a picture of a white man and say, he's so cute, he's so fine. I always had a crush on him. Then find an AI picture of a black man in a dress and post that up to laugh about. You have never criticized white men, only black men. But you don't like us anyway. That's why you give us poor service when we go at a store, bank, or anywhere, because you really don't want to say nothing to us, but you have to. And you say as little as possible. White women talk to you, engage with you. You all say as little as you possibly can. If you don't like us, go about your business. Oh, I forgot you can't. Other men don't like y'all like that. But we can go on. Not in numbers. All these arrows screwing you black women, but how many of you married to one? Not enough to count, even make a count. How many of you even got on a real date with one? They just take you straight to the motel. And you go along with that mess. But then they go get the fine ones too. But you want to throw all that fat at us. Black men put up with mess no other men would put up with. Most of you women walk around looking like drag queens with all this stuff on. See, drag queens used to wear the all fake hair, all that old, excuse me, pink and green hair and all that. The lashes, all the long nails, drag queens used to wear that to look like women. Now women wear it to look like drag queens. There used to be this drag queen named RuPaul. Back in the 80s, they put up a picture of him and said, one day, this is going to be the new look of black women. And sure enough, it is. You see that dancing y'all be doing down on the floor? I was with the organization, WPT. They had a thing for the LGBT, for the homosexuals, where they did AIDS tests and passed out condoms. I was with the TV station part, and I had a station in the back. They had this thing where these homosexuals be dancing on Wednesday. I saw them left that building. I got tired of seeing that mess. But they dance. That dance women you see women doing now, that's the type of dance homosexuals, those homosexual drag queens was doing. Women, black women are becoming men, acting like drag queens. You're dressing like them. Have you seen these black girls on prom? It's getting better now. But for about the last 5-6 years, the girls look like drag queens. Some of those young teenage girls were even wearing gray wigs. And the boys had on these shoes too small for them with fairies looking slippers on. With Cinderella looking slippers on. It's getting better now. They're beginning to dress a little better now. Thank goodness. I'm tired of seeing that mess. I stopped even looking at the prom pictures. The boys in fairy slippers with little suits on, high water, Steve Urkel pants, little bitty coat on. Some of them suits with no shirt on, like Mr. T. And the girls dressed like drag queens. Oh, it was a mess. But still, we gotta get these women to start taking accountability for yourselves, because black women are on the bottom all over. They took a poll of the most desired men in the world. Black men and white men ran neck and neck. But you know what the difference was? Black men are seen on the bottom in this nation. They say that's odd because usually men on the bottom not even in the ranking. White men was up on the top because he's seen as running the world right now. That's beginning to change, but he's running the world right now. The people who's running things are always put on the top. They say it's odd for black men to be there because he's seen as on the bottom, yet when it comes to the most desired men, he's right there on the top. And it wasn't that many black women in both. It was other women choosing black men. When they took the poll of women, black women was on the bottom all around the world. Not black African women, but black women in the United States, because they made to distinguish. Black men from the United States was on the top. But black women was on the bottom as the least desired women. It wasn't because, it's not because of, it's supposed to be because of your attitude. See, the way you're dressing is not all. It's your attitude also. Well, that's enough for tonight. I know y'all a little angry, but, you know, that's the way it is. And you know, before I take it back, I add more to it. You can say, call me names, anything you want to, but you know what I'm saying is right. Y'all too fat, and you're too mean and nasty. And that's a bad combination. Well, thank you for tuning in to No More Water to Fire next time. I'm going to call it a night because I got things to do. All right? Thank you for tuning in. Now, I'll see you. Okay, see you next time. Thanks. Bye.